Hello,
How are you guys?
we are all awesome. Who was that? That cute voice.
That's my niece, the
Oh,
naughtiest niece I have on earth.
we
That's
thought it's
my
your daughter.
No, I don't have a child as yet. She's my niece.
Great, great, great. You can on your camera today. We haven't even seen you once in the club.
You'll see me the next session.
Sure, no problem.
Yes.
So we can now start the club as well. We can start the book. We are starting part two today.
Okay.
Wait a second. Oh, I forgot to the Alchemist. The part two. Karina, will you start the read?
Sure.
So, here you go.
From the beginning.
Yes, we are starting now the part two. Before starting, I think you all remember the story as well. The boy now has now joined the merchant's shop for the work to earn some, to live, to have some place to eat and live. And now the part two begins.
The boy had been working for the crystal merchant for almost a month, and he could see that it wasn't exactly the kind of job that would make him happy. The merchant spent the entire day mumbling behind the counter, telling the boy to be careful with the pieces and not to break anything. But he,
So,
s- but he stayed with the job because the merchant, although he was an old grouch, treated him fairly. The boy received a good commission for each piece he sold, and had already been able to put some money aside. That morning he had done some calculating. If he continued to work every day as he had been, he would need a whole year to be able to buy some sheep. I'd like to build a display case for the crystal, the boy said to the merchant. We could place it outside and attract those people who pass at the bottom of the hill. I've never had one before, the merchant answered. People will pass by and bump into it, and pieces will be broken. Well, when I took my sheep through the fields, some of them might have died if we had come upon a snake. But that's why life is with the sheep and with shepherds. The merchant turned to a customer who wanted 3 crystal glasses. He was selling better than ever, as if time had turned back to the old days when the street had been one of
Tangerine.
Tangery's major attractions. Business had really improved, he said to the boy after the customer had left. I'm doing much better, and soon you'll be able to return to your sheep. Why ask more out of life? Because we have to respond to omens, the boy said, almost without meaning to. Then he regretted what he said, because the merchant had never met the king. It's called the principle of favorability, beginner's luck, because life wanted to achieve your personal legend, the old king had said. But the merchant understood what the boy had said. The boy's very presence in the shop was an omen, and as time passed and money was pouring into the cash drawer, he had no regrets about having hired the boy. The boy was being paid more money than he deserved, because the merchant, thinking that sales wouldn't amount to much, had offered the boy a high commission rate. He had assumed he would soon return to his sheep. Why did you want to get to the pyramids? He asked, to get away from the business of the display. Because I have always heard about them, the boy answered, saying nothing about his dream. The treasure was now nothing but a painful memory, and he tried to avoid thinking about it. I don't know anyone around here who would want to cross the desert just to see the pyramids, said the merchant. They are just a pile of stones. You could build one in your backyard. You have never had dreams of travel, said the boy, turning to wait on a customer who had entered the shop. 2 days later, the merchant spoke to the boy about the display. I don't much like change, he said. You and I aren't like Hassan, that rich merchant. If he makes a buying mistake, it doesn't affect him much. But we too have to live with our mistakes. That's true enough, the boy thought ruefully. Why did you think we should have the display? I want to get back to my sheep faster. We have to take advantage when luck is on our side and do as much to help it as it's doing to help us. It's called the principle of favorability, our beginner's luck. The merchant was silent for a few moments. Then he said, the Prophet gave us the Quran and left us just 5 obligations to satisfy during our lives. The most important is to believe only in the one true God. The others are to pray 5 times a day, fast during Ramadan, and be charitable to the poor. He stopped there. His eyes filled with tears as he spoke of the Prophet. He was a devout man, and even with all his impatience, he wanted to live his life in accordance with Muslim law. What's the 5th obligation? The boy asked. 2 days ago you said I had never dreamed of travel, the merchant answered. The 5th obligation of every Muslim is pilgrimage. We are
Obliged.
obliged at least once in our life to visit the holy city of Mecca. Mecca is a lot farther away than the pyramids. When I was young, all I wanted to do was put together enough money to start the shop. I thought that someday I'd be rich and could go to Mecca. I began to make some money, but I could never bring myself to leave someone in charge of the shop. The crystals are delicate things. At the same time, people were passing my shop all the time, heading for Mecca. Some of them were rich pilgrims, traveling in caravans with servants and camels, but most of the people making the pilgrimage were poorer than I. All who went there were happy at having done so. They placed the symbols of the pilgrimage on the doors of their houses. One of them, a cobbler, who made his living mending boots, said that he had traveled for almost a year through the desert, but that he got more tired when he had to walk through the streets of Tangier buying his leather. Well, why don't you go to Mecca now? Asked the boy. Because it's the thought of Mecca that keeps me alive. That's what helps me face these days that are all the same, these mute crystals on the shelves, and lunch and dinner at that same horrible cafe. I'm afraid that if my dream is realized, I'll have no reason to go on living. You dream about your sheep and the pyramids, but you're different from me because you want to realize your dreams. I just want to dream about Mecca. I have already imagined 1,000 times crossing the desert, arriving at the plaza at the sacred stone, the 7 times I walk around it before allowing myself to touch it. I've already imagined the people who would be at my side, and those in front of me, and the conversations and prayers we would share. But I'm afraid that it would all be a disappointment, so I prefer just to dream about it. That day, the merchant gave the boy permission to build the display. Not everyone can see his dreams come true in the same way.
Faith, would you like to continue?
Yes, I can continue.
Thank you. From this point only, 2 more months passed.
2 more Months passed, and the shelf brought many customers to the crystal shop. The boy estimated that if he worked for 6 more months, he could return to Spain and buy 60 sheep, and yet another 60 in less than a year. He would have doubled his flock, and he would be able to do a business with the Arabs, because he was now able to speak their strange language. Since that morning in the marketplace, he had never again made use of Urim and what's this?
Tamim.
Tamim, because
Tamim.
Egypt was now just as distant a dream for him as was Mecca for the Meccan. Anyway, the boy had become happy in his work and thought all the time about the day when he would disembark at Tarif as a winner. You must always know what is that you want, the old king had said. The boy knew and was now working towards it. Maybe it was his treasure to have wound up. Maybe it was his treasure to have wound up in that strange land, met up with a thief and doubled the size of his flock without spending a cent. He was proud of himself. He had learned some important things, like how to deal with crystal, and about the language without words, and about omens. One afternoon he had seen a man at the top of the hill, complaining that it was impossible to find a decent place to get something to drink after such a climb. The boy, accustomed to recognizing omens, spoke to the merchant. Let's sell tea to the people who climb the hill. Lots of places sell tea around here, the merchant said, but we could sell tea in a crystal glasses. The people will enjoy the tea and want to buy the glasses. I have been told that beauty is the greatest seducer of men. The merchant didn't respond, but that afternoon, after saying his prayers and closing the shop, he invited the boy to sit with him and share his hookah and strange pipe used by the Arabs. What is it you are looking for? Asked the old merchant. I've already told you I need to buy my ship back, so I have to earn the money to do so. The merchant put some new coals in the hookah and inhaled deeply. I've had this shop for 30 years. I know good crystals from bad, and everything else there is to know about crystals. I know its dimensions and how it behaves. If we serve tea in crystal, the shop is going to expand, and then I'll have to change my way of life. Well, isn't that good? I'm already used to the way things are. Before you came, I was thinking how much time I had wasted in the same place, while my friends had moved on and either went bankrupt or did better than they had before. It made me very depressed. Now I can see that it hadn't been too bad. The shop is exactly the size I always wanted it to be. I don't want to change anything because I don't know how to deal with change. I'm used to the way I am. The boy didn't know what to say. The old man continued, You have been a real blessing to me. Today I understand something I didn't see before. Every blessing ignored becomes a curse. I don't want anything else in life, but you are forcing me to look at wealth and at horizons I have never known. Now that I have seen them, and now that I see how immense my possibilities are, I'm going to feel worse than I did before you arrived, because I know the things I should be able to accomplish, and I don't want to do so. It's good. I refrain from saying anything to the baker in Tarif, thought the boy to himself. They went on smoking the pipe for a while as the sun began to set. They were conversing in Arabic, and the boy was proud of himself for being able to do so. There had been a time when he thought that his ships could teach him everything he needed to know about the world, but they could never have taught him Arabic. There are probably other things in the world that the ship can't teach him, thought the boy as he regarded the old merchant. All they ever do, really, is look for food and water. And maybe it wasn't that they were teaching me, but that I was learning from them. Maktab, the merchant said finally. What does that mean? You would have to have been born in Arabic to understand. he answered. But in my language, it would be something like it is written. And as he smoothed the coals in the hookah, he told the boy that he could begin to sell tea in the crystal glasses. Sometimes there's just no way to hold back the river. The men climbed the hill and they were tired when they reached the top, but they saw a crystal shop that offered refreshing mint tea. They went in to drink the tea, which was served in beautiful crystal glasses. My wife never thought of this, said one, and he bought some crystal. He was entertaining guests that night, and the guests would be impressed by the beauty of the glassware. The other men remarked that tea was always more delicious when it was served in crystal because the aroma was retained. The third said it was a tradition in the Orient to use crystal glasses for tea because it had magical powers. Before long, the news spread, and a great many people began to climb the hill to see the shop that was doing something new in a trade that was so old. Other shops were opened that served tea in crystal, but they weren't at the top of a hill, and they had little business. Eventually, the merchant had to hire 2 more employees. He began to import enormous quantities of tea along with his crystal, and his shop was sought out by men and women with a thirst for things new. And in that way, the months passed. The boy awoke before dawn, and it had been 11 months and 9 days since he had first set foot on the African continent. He dressed in his Arabic clothing of white linen, bought brought especially for this day. He put his headcloth in place and secured it with a ring made of camel skin. Wearing his new sandals, he descended the stairs silently. The city was still sleeping. Uh, he prepared himself a sandwich and drank some hot tea from a crystal glass. Then he sat in the sun-filled doorway, smoking the hookah. He smoked in silence, thinking of nothing and listening to the sound of the wind that brought the scent of the desert. When he had finished his smoke, he reached into one of his pockets and sat there for a few moments, regarding what he had withdrawn. It was a bundle of money, enough to buy him 120 sheep, a return ticket, and a license to import products from Africa to his own country. He waited patiently for the merchant to awaken and open the shop. Then the two went off to have some more tea. I'm leaving today, said the boy. I have the money. I need to buy my sheep. I have the money I need to buy my sheep, and you have the money you need to go to Mecca. The old man said nothing. Will you give me your blessing? Asked the boy. You have helped me. The man continued to prepare his tea, saying nothing. Then he turned to the boy. I am proud of you, he said. You brought a new feeling into my crystal shop. But you know what I'm going to do? But you know what? You know that I'm not going to go to Mecca, just as you know that you are not going to buy your sheep. Who told you that? Asked the boy, startled.
Maktum,
Maktab, said the
mak-
old crystal merchant, and he gave the boy his blessing.
Wow, that's a powerful paragraph actually. I have found so many lessons to learn today. I feel we should have a pause for here today instead of continuing because more people will join in the next session as well. Sounds good to everyone? Or should we continue?
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good to me too.
Because actually, uh, this club is more about reading and using the same knowledge as well. And in the few pages we read today, I found many lessons. So I just thought if we keep reading now, we will just keep skipping the important part of it as well. And the one name, Maktub, that I was reading as well. Actually, recently, the same author released a new book named Maktub. And
What is
actually,
it?
The same author which wrote down this book, The Alchemist.
Oh,
The
okay.
book's name is Maktub. And that, and
And
just
what
like
does
that,
maktub mean?
just like the merchant said, it's written, it's Maktub. That means some things, I mean, even I don't know the exact meaning of it. The Because even if I say it's written, that's just the literal meaning of it, literal meaning. But the in-depth meaning, I will only understand when I will read the book, Maktub. But what I feel it means that some aspects of our life are written, Maktub. Like a part of your life is already written, predestined, you can say. I guess that's the meaning. If not, we will definitely check out and we will read that book as well in the club. I will buy the book. If I don't get the PDF, I'll click the photo of the pages. But I'll definitely buy the book because now it's just clicking more and more, reading that word again and again. So, Karina, what would you like to share with us?
Um, that one part where the merchant said that he only likes to dream about Mecca and that the boy actually is realizing his dreams. And I think that the main essence of this is that you should have enough courage to follow your dreams.
That's true. That's true. I mean, that's actually a really good point as well, because there are actually two parts to this one. One is this: you need to have courage. Without courage, dreams are dead, they have no value. And the second thing he said, if I fulfill the dream, I will not have anything to dream more. This is the only dream I'm holding on to. That I think is really important to see as well. I have seen many people have fake dreams. That's what I call them. They are temporary dreams, they are fake. They don't hold any value in themselves, but we hold on to them like the biggest dreams of ours. And once they are gone, that's it, we feel blank. We feel lost. So we have to make sure the dreams we pick up are genuine ones, and their effect will have a and they will go on for our whole lives, not for a few days, few months, or a few years. We should not have materialistic dreams or fake dreams. We should have permanent dreams. Instead of saying that I want to be earning $10,000 from a business, my focus should be I want to serve hundred of people. I want to serve many people all around the world, because that's a goal that will never end, never ending dreams. True. Faith, what would you like to share?
Uh, for me, I think when the merchant was actually realizing that he's not really comfortable to change, you know.
Yeah,
Sometimes I think what I took from there is that at times we think we want the things that we say we want, but we're actually comfortable where we are. We are just not aware of that, you know. So I think he's been comfortable with how things have been.
true.
Um, and he's used to that, you know. When the boy is now bringing new things, maybe it also evoke fear within him. But I think the lesson here is that at times we do find comfort in our uncomfortable situations. We're just not aware of it, but we're
True.
actually comfortable in the discomfort,
True.
or we've
I
created
mean,
comfort in the discomfort rather.
true. Absolutely true. Even like the merchant, even if the merchant was successful, he still didn't like it, because even
Yes.
success brings uncomfort. Even success brings responsibilities. It's very easy to say, I want to be successful. Even that success, I always ask myself one question. Okay, fine. For example, my goal is to earn, if if I'm talking about my financial goals, if I say I want to earn $50,000 a month, so if I say, okay, fine, uh, I am I am now having that money in my bank account. Now, since I'm earning that money, then naturally there will be more work as well, more clients, more meetings. Can I even manage that much work also? Can I even manage that money in my bank account? Do I know where to have the money, where to save the money, where to spend the money? And even that gives me uncomfort. So even success has to be handled, it has to be managed. We have to learn. And even if you can talk about your own love life, it's easy to say, oh, I want to marry, I want to have a kid. Can you really even manage a new person in your life, a new birth in your life, a new child in your life as well? It's very easy to say what I want. You can be
Mm,
uncomfortable to achieve it, but it's new level of uncomfort to even handle it, to even manage it all.
true.
I will say that to my clients, if you can't manage $100, you can't earn $200. And then the most beautiful line from the movie Spider-Man: with great power comes great responsibility.
By the way, I just also remember a story according to this uncomfort. I keep it short because I don't remember the details. But I've heard about a man who was trying to go into into a certain country, but I think he had no papers or something, so he couldn't go back, and they didn't know where to send him now. So he was just living at the airport for many years, I guess for 20 years or something, and he could not go anywhere else because he wasn't allowed to go in the country, and they didn't know where to send him to. So after 20 years, they finally found the papers and everything they needed, and they said to him, "Okay, now you can go, you can leave." But he didn't want to go. He started to feel so comfortable at that uncomfort airport that he just stayed there and lived there.
It's true. I mean, that's true. I mean, that's a funny way to say it, but that's true. Some people who are in drinking problems or other problems that they know the habits will kill them, like smoking. Like we all know smoking kills, even then people smoke. So yeah. And just one example here, I actually saw the same in as well. Like I said, great power brings great responsibility. I even didn't like that person also, but what to do? I saw a person, he just became a father because he had a very small child in his that what to say, pram, in the child rocker. He was, I mean, having a child in a pram. Yeah, I think that's the right term. If you know what the pram means, the word, it's a vehicle where you can have a child. Like we see in the movies now, they stroller,
A child carrier,
stroller, a child carrier. Yes, a
a
child
stroller,
carrier,
yes.
a
Yeah.
stroller. So the child was really young. I mean,
Yeah.
he might be like a few months only. The father was also young. He was smoking while he was strolling the child, and I like, all right, you are a young father. First of all, you should not, and you are carrying the child. So the child is also now consuming the smoke. I didn't say anything to him, but it was clearly visible that the responsibilities came to him and he's not ready to manage them at all. So even if success, happiness does come to us sometimes, but we don't know how to be the person to manage them. Like the merchant, he was not ready to manage the money, the employees, the success. These small examples, they just make us realize that true, it's all happens. It all happens around us.
So could it be the reason why most like your success coaches or your manifestation coaches in most times they say do not focus on what you want, rather focus on becoming a version of yourself. Like who do you need to become to have that particular thing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all about that. You never see, I can say na that I want to earn this much money or I want to be healthy, I want to have six pack abs. But if I'm sleeping at 2 a.m. at night, binge watching Netflix, then what's the match between my goals and between my actions? My thoughts and emotions are completely opposite to what I want to achieve. It's very easy to say, na, I want this, blah, blah, blah. then it takes extraordinary guts to get up in the morning to go for a walk, to get up in the morning to clean up your bed. I always ask myself, like, I'm unmarried right now. So I always ask myself, fine, it's easy to get married. Spend some money, and that's it. You're married. That's it. But when you are married, after that whole marriage process, ceremonies, you become a husband. Are you even ready to manage those new responsibilities of your life? So I was asking every morning, am I ready to be a husband? Emotionally, mentally, physically, am I ready? Only then I'll make that decision to get married. Same happens in your business, in your health life, everywhere. Even for every entrepreneur, their health is their biggest asset. Now, I don't eat ice creams or cold drinks because I know if I lose my throat, I am out of work. I had a problem this last year for the first time in my life. My throat was off for whole 2 weeks. I couldn't speak a word. So how will I earn without my throat? So now I had to be more responsible na, for my own health. Only then I can earn and work. Simple. So yes. Shruti, would you have to share anything? Can you speak or will you type? Type. Awesome. True. The boy didn't tell the actual dream of his merchant. We all learn that, I believe, from somewhere, from a book, from some mentor or some YouTube video, Instagram reels. We all learn that. Never share your dream with everyone. That's not like they will give you any negative thoughts upon that or they will block your success. Nothing like that. That's a fake thing. The only thing is they will judge you. They will make fun of you. I can give my own story for that matter. When I was young, I mean, young means like I'm now about to be 30. So yeah, now I can say that when I was young. When I was entering my 20s and I was single, I was still, just meeting new girls. And I was planning, thinking, what would love look like? What would dream life look like? I used to say that I will never break up. I will always have one girlfriend. I will marry my girlfriend. I will understand her, listen to her, because I was from starting only, I was a bit too serious about my love life. I was obsessed about it, that I want to have a partner in my life that was genuinely caring, supportive. I, w- I won't care about the physical looks, the physical love of the whole thing. And they used to make fun of me. Oh, you are dumb. That's just too much to say. You are just faking around. Nobody's that pure in thoughts. Nobody's that much good of a girl, also. You will always have breakups. Well, basically, they used to make fun of my dreams. When I said I'll be an entrepreneur, my own parents were making fun of me. When I said I'll be a coach, they said I'm a drama buzz or I'm a cheat or I'm this or I'm that. Nobody's a good coach, blah, blah, blah. It's all dumb. People make fun of your dreams. Not everyone, I agree. Some people do understand them, some people do listen to you. But unless and until you find that one person who's ready to listen and understand dreams just the way you are understanding that, don't speak up. Simple. Your dreams are not bad. The person is also not bad. It's just that for that person, from their lens, from their perception, the dreams are too dumb or they don't exist. I think Faith has also experienced that, right, Faith? I think we all experience that.
What? I did not get that.
That the world makes fun of your dreams, your desires.
Yeah, most of the time people tend to do that. But I think it's because people who do that, I think it's because they don't dare to dream. You
True.
look ridiculous, but at the same time, people who are mocking you are people who never voice out what they want. A person cannot even say that I am going to be successful. It just feels so uncomfortable for them to say it to themselves. So I think we're triggering that within them to say, who are you to be saying that when I'm not able to audibly say it to myself? So I think it's fear more than anything. So I take it that way, and I'm like, ah, man, you can continue laugh or do whatever you want, but I know
True.
bigger, I know better than that. I know it's not you laughing at me. This is your own issues.
Absolutely correct. Some people can't even speak to themselves that they want
Yes,
to have a bigger dream. So they get frustrated that I'm not even strong enough to think. You are the one following them, chasing them. Are you crazy?
exactly.
That is so true. And then I also read a line that you're gonna die anyway after a few years. Who will care if you lived your dream or not? So anyway, live it. The book was really actually the line was really good. That the person who earned $1 billion, he also died. Who didn't earn, he also died. So follow. You're anyway
Yeah,
gonna die.
exactly. You're going to die either way.
Either
You
you're
know,
gonna die
I
anyway.
ra- I rather die in my Porsche. You know,
Actually, that's a good joke as well. If you wanna cry in your Lamborghini. Why to
yeah,
cry in a
rather
small
cry in my
house?
Lamborghini. There's
Actually,
nothing glamorous about not having.
there was the statement was money can't buy happiness. Even if you have
Yes,
Lamborghini, you're still gonna cry. So the point was, yeah, it's okay. At least I'm crying in the Lamborghini. That's
yes.
better. You are just jealous because you can't cry in a Lamborghini. I can. And I believe that's true sometimes. Sometimes it's good to cry even when you're rich. At least you don't have to worry about the bills you have to pay tomorrow.
It is all the time. Like I'm saying, there's nothing glamorous about being poor. You know,
Exactly.
we might as well cry in those cars.
So, the next lesson I would like to share is omens. I mean, I always go around that one because it just hits me every time. Omens. They are so important and they're so good. And they're always around us. When someone asks me now, is there any God? And then I believe, yes, there is. Because the omens, that's the physical aspect of being God around us. Like that boy, he picked up that omen when the people on the hill were saying that we wish someone could serve tea on the hill as well. Now that was God's message now for them to start the tea as well, to start selling the tea along with the crystals as well. So he said that it was an omen from the God for us to start selling the teas as well. Now we might not think of it as an omen. We might say, oh, that was nothing. But in the reality, it was. And in our own life as well, that's how omens show up. That's how omens always show up. In my own life, I have seen them happening almost every day. Definitely a few signs, they show up every time. And even yesterday, I was listening to my own spiritual mentor. Shruti knows him because we both follow him. The same thing he told, that whenever God's child is in extreme trouble and they can't see a way out, it's all dark for them all around. God definitely shows up in some form of help to say that relax, I'm here with you.
Who's your spiritual mentor?
Actually, he's from India.
Oh, okay, he's not someone famous.
He's famous. He's the ambassador of spiritual organization of the whole world. Shruti knows the title as well.
Is it
I
not?
can.
What's his
Uh,
name?
the name is actually Indian only, but I'll definitely share the name with you.
Oh,
Rajendra
okay.
Singh Maharaj. Rajendra Singh. I'll share the YouTube link
Oh,
as well. He actually speaks in both the languages, Hindi and English as well.
oh, okay. Okay. I'll check him out.
His main teaching is science of spirituality.
Oh, okay.
He's traveling to Austria. I know. She, she's going to meet him. Karina also follows him. So actually, he's traveling to that part of the world, Europe, next month. So I believe she will meet him definitely.
Oh, I thought maybe you were speaking about Sadhguru.
No, I know Sadhguru is more famous in India from India, but I don't follow him actually because whenever I follow someone, I do check up on their past, and
Okay.
Sadhguru have some past scandals named to him. So whenever there is even a bit of name around scandals with a person, I don't follow them. I have had a few mentors like this in my own life. I used to follow Sadhguru a lot, but the day I found the scams around his name, I left following him.
Oh, okay.
So, like I was saying, omens, we all should focus on them. Seriously, I mean, they do show up every time. They can be even an idea or some person showing up in your life with some random thought, with some random clue. Your parents, your friends, your business, environment, nature, which can be anything, anything. Even sometimes when I'm walking in the sunlight, some random idea shows up, and I know that's an omen for me. So, next point, Karina, last point.
I already said my point.
Yeah, one more, no problem.
I don't have one more.
Faith, do you have one more?
I also don't have.
Why?
You say one more.
I have many.
No,
I wrote down 10 points.
please share the ones that you have with
Shruti
us.
has one more.
Funny,
Shruti has one
I
more.
did not get more today. I did not hear much. Maybe
Why?
what you picked today, we did not pick, you know. So maybe you picked more than us today. So you can share them with us.
I'll do that. The one
Thank
thing
you.
I really liked is that the old man said, you always have to focus on your personal legend. You should never lose your focus. The old man said, never lose your focus from your personal legend. We read that in so many books that be the person you want to become, follow your dreams, think about it 24/7. I think that what it, if I simplify it, that what the king also said. Never completely forget about your personal legend. That means your purpose. Because that's a dream, that's a desire that will never end. My own desire as a coach. So I never forget myself. I never forget my dream to serve more clients. So I always try to keep my attitude in like that. Calm, centered, learning, listening, understanding. That just keeps reminding me 24/7 that my dream is to grow as a coach. Even when I'm in a family, I apply the principles I learn in the book club or reading a book. And I think we can link this to the last meeting as well, where we did a point that your world is your library. So even if while you're just diving in that ocean of your purpose, even if when I'm with my family, I still pick up a few, points, values, philosophies to teach, to learn. So that just makes me connected with my love, my work 24/7. Even if while I'm playing with my nephew, even he's here for a week, even while I'm playing with him, even then I pick up something to understand or learn or to realize, oh, that's how that's what it is. It just clicks. So that focus now, when you are in such love with your work, with your purpose, you never lose focus. You never lose passion. You never lose the enthusiasm to work or learn, actually. I think learning is the major part. When someone asks me, what's the purpose? How do we know what's our purpose? The biggest question. How do we know what's our purpose? I think the only answer is the learning part. If you can study and learn something 24/7, that's it. That's your purpose. Simple. Right, Faith?
Yes, I got that.
I think
We
studying and
must not
learning
lose the
part now.
sense of focus. I was saying you were talking about focus, how we must not lose the sense of our focus, Sometimes, yeah, it's not an easy thing to actually pinpoint
Hmm.
your purpose, My mentor liked to say, anything that you can get, anything that you can do without even being paid for, but you are enjoying doing it, that it's either your purpose or your purpose is somewhere around that, you know?
True.
Yeah.
True. Your purpose can be literally anything.
Yes.
Anything. I just liked to teach people, that's all. I just liked teaching. I was not able to teach a school subject like a school teacher or a college teacher or a lawyer or a tax teacher. Nothing. I just liked teaching. That's it. And I also liked to love. Like I wanted to have the best love life. So I became a love teacher. That's all. Now, if you say, see, if you link it that way, you will laugh how this can be a purpose. But then I
Yes.
met my mentors. And the only line that clicked me from my mentor, Bob Proctor, because Faith and I share the same mentor here. So the
Yeah.
only line that clicked me from Bob Proctor's interview was, you can even teach this as a profession. you
Yes.
can you can be a coach. This is a profession too. That's it. The moment I heard that line, this is a profession too, I said, perfect, thank God. Now I can follow this with great respect, that I'm not doing something illegal. But even today, when someone asks me, what's the meaning of love coach, you're pervert or what, I'm not saying, chill, relax, man, I'm not a that kind of a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel in today's era now, that's the biggest blessing. You can follow anything. There is no limit now. You can follow anything. In our parents' era, 30 years ago, there was a limit. You can be a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher. There was only certain fields. Now I see kids, I see new generation coming up. They are doing crazy things. The professions even I never thought they would exist. Just imagine a company. There is a company in India, and there are many companies in India, I know the world now, and their only job is subtitles. They provide subtitles for a movie. That's their job, translating a language. Netflix has a proper job for every movie to have subtitles in every language. So their only job is to translate the language to write down the subtitles. That's a job now. For whom? For someone who loves to translate the languages. Simple. Now, what will you say? What do I do? I provide subtitles to a movie. But that's a passion now. If someone has that, they follow that.
True.
So, just before we wind up, let's just revise all the lessons first. The first lesson was from Karina, right? Dreams, awesome dreams, genuine dreams. The second lesson was from Faith, right? Change, uncomfort. Even success requires a certain level of uncomfort. To reach success, you have to be uncomfortable, but to even manage success, you have to learn again then. You can't just sit there and think it will all get managed on its own. You will have to do that as well. Third lesson, Shruti, that you have to preserve your dreams. Yes, share them, learn about them, but don't blabber around them all over the neighbor. You don't need to post them on Facebook. Fourth dream, fourth point was from me, omens. I love that point. Omens means signs of faith, signs of God, sign of universe always around us. I think the more we are calm, the more we are smiling, the more we can observe them. The more we think we are dead, life is dead, the more we ignore them. And the fifth point, focus. Your world is your library. You can always learn. And the more you keep learning, the more you keep an eye for something to learn, the more you're attached to your purpose. I think there are so many books around that topic. Ikigai, one book as well. The whole concept of that book is the same thing, life purpose. This whole book, Alchemist, the same concept, life purpose. Even the book Science of Getting Rich, same thing, life purpose. Even the Science of Getting Rich, The Science of Getting Rich book also says the same line. Your purpose, the foundation to excel at your gift, your purpose is already installed within you. So you have that extra base, that extra, boost, I can say, to excel at it. And then you can add a line from this book, that is beginner's luck, the principle of favorability. So they both are like your launching pads to success. So I hope Karina, Faith, Shruti, you liked it today. I know the members are a bit less. That's why we didn't read much today, but we'll have more by the next session, Wednesday now, same time. I hope you all liked it.
Yes, it was
And I hope,
interesting.
thank you so much. I hope we learned something as well. And you know what, everyone? In the next session, we will have a face, we'll have a face reveal from Faith as well. So we all are excited to see her as well. Right, Faith? And now she won't reply. I announced that we will have a face reveal from you in the next session.
Hmm?
I announced that we will all have a face reveal from you in the next session. The surprise.
There will be a surprise in the next session.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. From
Oh,
you.
really? From you?
From
Oh
you.
my face. Oh my God.
Yes.
No pressure, but I'll show face.
No pressure.
Now it's just that I've been having flu, so I've been taking the sessions while I relaxed, very
I,
comfortable.
I hope these
So
sessions they relax you more.
yes, hopefully I'll get to relax more.
So you should now have some rest.
Yes.
Even Shruti is also having some same problem like you, cough and cold. So I think you should both go on now, have some good sleep. While me and
Mm.
Karina, we'll enjoy and we'll sleep soon as well.
It's very cold this side. It's winter
Oh,
season.
it's winter season right now. Wow.
Yes, it's winter.
Here it's summer, extreme summer.
Oh, it's very hot in India.
Very, very, very hot.
Wow. Okay,
So
guys.
please have some rest, everyone. And we all meet
Yes.
together on
We'll see
Wednesday.
each other the
Same
next
time.
session.
Awesome. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye, guys. Bye.